Another heavyweight bout here, Waldo Cortes Acosta coming in at minus 238 against Lukasz Brzeski, who sits at plus 198, over under 2.5 rounds, minus 125 for the over, minus 105 for the under. 9-1 for Waldo Cortes Acosta. Picked up his first loss of his career his last time out against the Derek Lewis knee eater, Marcos Rogerio de Lima, 31 years of age for both men, 6'4" for both men, and a 78-inch reach with 0.3 advantage for Lukasz Brzeski. If you're looking at Brzeski, his last performance out was against Carl Williams. He got absolutely ragdolled, like thrown across the cage like he was a stuffed animal and gassed out completely. Look at the performance before that. Some would say a robbery against Martin Budaj. He outstruck him, nearly doubled him up. But either way, Budaj landed the more significant shots. That is ultimately why they gave him the decision. Coming in here against Waldo Cortes Acosta, these guys are kind of both like volume punchers. Like for heavyweights, they're just going to throw good jabs. They're going to stay in your face and be busy. So I'm interested to see how this works out. But for Cortes Acosta, the big weakness for him that we've seen is like the leg kicks. Against Rogerio de Lima, he was just whipping those things in there, and it didn't look great. He has good cardio, I will say that. Like, he was able to come back in the third round against Rogerio de Lima and get pick up the win in that round and nearly tripled him up on the significant strike count. But coming against Lukasz Brzeski, I think he probably hits the more significant shots as well. Heavyweights that don't hit that hard, like, it's always tough to get behind him at chalk. But in this one, I think he probably can keep up with the volume, land the more significant shots, and has the better cardio. So I'm going to go with him. But do you think there's any value on the dog?
Yeah, it's hard to tell just because this is like a different style, I guess, for Lukasz Brzeski. I mean, he's not fighting that wrestler like he was against Carl Williams where he just got taken down and worn out. But, even the fight against Budaj, I mean, he did kind of fade late going into that fight, going into that third round. Like, he was getting really, really tired. And the one big ups I have for Cortes Acosta is that he does have really good volume, and he's shown pretty damn good cardio in his fights. I know they're against, Chase Sherman and Jared Vanderaa, his first two wins in the UFC. But in those fights, I mean, he landed 147 strikes against Chase Sherman and, 73 against Jared Vanderaa, won both those fights on the scorecards pretty easily. So I think that volume, if he doesn't find a finish, will take over as the fight goes on, and you could see him get this thing on the scorecards. That's how he's won his first two and lost his first fight in the UFC. But if Lukasz can get the leg kicks going, that's going to be his path. Like, that's going to be his path here, is to slow him down with those leg kicks, because Cortes Acosta just hasn't really learned how to check him. He kind of takes it and he'll yell at you, like, act like he didn't feel it. But I mean, Lukasz Brzeski does have some pop in his shots, whether it's the kick or the shots upstairs with the fists. So that makes it a little bit interesting. However, I do like Cortes Acosta's boxing, even defensively. Like, you can tell he's got boxing experience, which he does, like professional boxing experience before the UFC. I mean, he's really slick. He's fast. He slips and counters pretty well. And that volume, man, if Brzeski can't slow him down, I think the volume just takes over at some point. He's really good with it, and he works everything. He works the body, the legs, and he'll come up top of the shots as well. And he's, so far he eats the leg kicks well, and he's durable. And I think that's, if he does that in this fight too, he's going to walk away with another decision victory. So I'm going to take him for the pick.
Yeah, he's been pretty active too. I mean,
yeah,
this is his fourth fight within the past year. So there's that for him. I like him for the pick. Don't really like the chalk on him, but he should be the favorite in this spot.